In each person's life, we always have to face countless relationships and events. In the midst of that flow, there are relationships and favors that we cherish and keep forever in our hearts. Because gratitude is not only respect for what we have received, but also a way for us to live deeply towards truth and goodness. To receive sincere feelings, first of all, we must live with a pure soul, know how to be grateful, and treat others with sincerity. A valuable lesson from Buddhist philosophy has affirmed, a person who knows how to be grateful is a person who lives with virtue. Gratitude is the way to touch people's hearts. In Buddhism, gratitude is not only a virtue, but also a way to help us connect our souls with those around us. There is a saying, gratitude is the way to keep people's hearts, and those who win people's hearts will always be respected by others. Each person's gratitude is like a bright light in the dark night, illuminating the moments of our lives with more meaning. A rich merchant, because of his busy life, forgot his family until he fell ill, had to rely on the care of his relatives. Only when he realized the importance of those relationships did he truly understand gratitude and change the way he treated people, spending time cherishing every moment with his relatives. Sincerity is the foundation of all relationships. Love in this world is often seen as a trade-off. People treat others well when they have similar conditions, but only sincerity can touch people's hearts. Buddha taught that the mind creates appearance, appearance creates life, meaning that if our heart is sincere, our relationships will also become good. If we treat others falsely, we will only receive meaningless, unlasting things. A poor but compassionate person helped his neighbors in difficult times without asking for anything in return. When it was his turn to be in trouble, the whole village joined hands to help because they understood that sincerity would bring incomparable warmth. Teachings on controlling emotions and tolerance. Buddhism often emphasizes controlling emotions, especially when we face anger or frustration. Negative emotions can hurt ourselves and those around us. A single angry word can ruin a relationship, so patience and tolerance are essential. As the Buddha once taught, when others hurt you, respond with tolerance, because hatred only increases your own suffering. A close friend misunderstood and said harsh words. Instead of reacting immediately, restrain yourself and carefully understand the cause. When we face each other with tolerance, we not only protect our friendship, but also help each other understand each other better and know how to overcome challenges in life. Living in accordance with fate and at peace in all situations. Living in accordance with fate is an important philosophy in Buddhism, helping us not to be stubborn in any relationship or success. Living in accordance with fate does not mean ignoring everything, but knowing how to accept and be at peace with what happens and not clinging too much to success or failure. Following fate without being unrestrained is the way of life that Buddhists aim for. When our mind is strong enough, causes and conditions will automatically connect to bring peace. A child could not convince his parents to change their conservative views on work, causing a long-lasting conflict. After learning to live in accordance with fate, the child stopped arguing, focused on doing a good job, and gradually proved himself. This helped his parents automatically change their thinking, gradually accepting their child's choice. Profound lessons about life and fate. Life is a journey where everything changes, nothing lasts forever. Fate is what connects us to everything, and living with gratitude will help us feel peaceful in the midst of the storms of life. When we live with gratitude, we will realize that success or failure is just part of the journey. What is more precious is gratitude and sincere affection in every relationship. Finally, we need to realize that happiness does not depend on success or wealth, but on knowing how to live fully in each moment, knowing how to love and appreciate the people around us. That is the profound lesson that everyone needs to accept to live a meaningful and peaceful life. One of the causes of suffering in life is desire and ego. Buddha taught that greed, anger, and ignorance are poisons that harm the soul, making people always dissatisfied and miserable. When we are too passionate about power, wealth, and material things, we will be stuck in the vortex of ego and never feel fulfilled. To find true happiness, each person needs to learn to let go of desire and free themselves from the attachment of ego. There was a successful businessman who owned a lot of assets, but always felt stressed and insecure. Every day he was afraid of losing his assets and power. One day he met a Zen master who taught him how to calm his mind and meditate to reduce his desires and worries. Gradually, he realized that true happiness comes from peace of mind, not from wealth. He learned to let go and felt life much lighter. In Buddhism, compassion is a core value, taught through many lessons and teachings. Forgiveness not only helps us let go of hatred, but also frees our minds from the burden of resentment. The Buddha once taught, "Holding on to hatred is like holding a hot coal. You are the one who gets burned before you can throw it at someone else." To have peace and happiness, we need to learn to forgive and show compassion to everyone, including those who have hurt us. There was a child who was abandoned by his biological parents when he was young. Although he grew up in poverty and hurt, the child still decided to forgive his parents, understanding that they may have also had difficulties. By forgiving, the child freed himself from the psychological burden, lived a happy life, and did not let resentment dominate him. The Buddha taught, "Only the present is real, the past is gone, and the future has not yet come." When the mind is stuck in the past or worried about the future, we easily miss the precious moments of life. Living mindfully, understanding each present moment, is the way to appreciate every little thing and see that happiness is the simplest thing. A woman often worries about the past and fears the uncertain future. After learning meditation and mindfulness, she gradually realized that nothing is eternal except the present moment. When she learned to fully embrace the present, she felt life became lighter, no longer haunted by the past or pressured by the future. Life is a journey full of challenges, not always easy and smooth. Buddhism teaches us about patience, persevering in the face of difficulties, and not being discouraged by failures. Perseverance is not suffering, but an inner strength that helps us face challenges without faltering. A persistent person will always find joy on his path, no matter how difficult it is. A farmer works hard every day in the field, regardless of the harsh weather. Despite many failures due to bad weather, he still perseveres in plowing little by little. Through many rainy and sunny seasons, he has reaped worthy results, and that helps him understand that everything requires perseverance and patience to achieve success. Humility is a noble virtue in Buddhism. When living humbly, we will reduce disputes and comparisons with others and know how to accept life peacefully. Humility also means knowing enough, understanding that joy and happiness do not lie in what we own, but in peace of mind. A rich official never brags, lives simply, and is close to the people. Despite having power in his hands, he never shows arrogance, always lives humbly, and serves wholeheartedly. Therefore, he was loved and respected by the people, feeling that life was peaceful and meaningful. When we understand and practice the values of Buddhist philosophy, from gratitude, forgiveness, mindful living to humility, we will realize that happiness is not something far away, but is harmony with ourselves and everyone around us. Life is not a competition for power or wealth, but the completeness of each moment, each relationship, As the Buddha once said, happiness is a journey, not a destination. When we live with gratitude, forgiveness, and understand the core values in life, we will have a pure and peaceful soul in the midst of the hustle and bustle of life. And so, no matter how many difficulties or challenges we encounter, we will still firmly step forward, gently overcome them to move towards a peaceful and completely happy life. Buddhism teaches that everything in life is impermanent. Nothing is permanent. Understanding impermanence helps us let go of attachment and appreciate what we have. Buddha once taught, nothing in this world is forever, not even this life itself. When we understand this, we will live more gently, without being overwhelmed by ambitions or desires. Impermanence teaches us a lesson about tolerance and sympathy. A woman lost a loved one and was immersed in suffering. After studying Buddhism, she understood that everything is a matter of fate. There will be meetings and then separations. Thanks to that, she accepted and cherished every moment, lived with a peaceful mind, and no longer blamed life. Lessons about cause and effect and responsibility. Buddhism emphasizes the law of cause and effect. What you sow, you reap. All our actions, big or small, leave results in life. Understanding cause and effect helps us live more responsibly, knowing how to choose actions wisely to create good causes. This not only brings joy, but also helps us build a peaceful future for ourselves and those around us. A man who had made enemies with many people around him. After many failures in life, he turned to Buddhism and understood that the misfortunes that came to him were all due to his previous actions. From then on, he began to change his behavior, help people around him to accumulate good causes, and gradually his life changed for the better. Simplify your life to find happiness. Sometimes, happiness comes from the simplest things. Buddhism teaches us that happiness does not lie in external material things, but in inner peace. When we live simply and do not demand too much, we will realize that life is more peaceful and happy. Simplification helps us find joy in simple things, not letting jealousy or greed control us. A man had all the possessions but did not feel happy. He decided to leave the city to return to the countryside, living a simple life in a small house. Gradually, he felt joy from small things, the sound of birds singing, the sight of the sunrise. His life became more meaningful when he focused on spiritual values and ignored unnecessary material needs. A lesson on mindfulness in the face of negative emotions. In life, people often get caught up in the vortex of negative emotions, such as anger, jealousy, and anxiety. Buddhism teaches us to be mindful, to recognize these emotions so as not to be controlled by them. Mindfulness is the ability to recognize all emotions without letting them overwhelm us. When we achieve mindfulness, we will master ourselves, creating a peaceful life. An employee was often stressed because of work and had difficulty in relationships with colleagues. After studying Buddhism, he learned to observe his emotions whenever there was a conflict. By doing this, he reduced his anger and had more positive thoughts. Gradually, he built good relationships and felt more at ease at work. The meaning of giving and sharing. Buddhism sees giving as a way to create blessings, helping us live with a noble soul and reduce selfishness. When we give, we not only help others, but also create blessings for ourselves. Giving brings joy and happiness, helping us live humanely and deeply. A young businessman decided to spend part of his business profits to build a school for poor children. Despite facing many difficulties, he continued to contribute because he understood that giving would help build a bright future for many generations. Life is a journey in which we encounter unexpected people and events. When we know how to live according to Buddhist philosophy, know how to give, forgive, and be grateful, we will realize that happiness is not a destination, but a state of mind we feel when living with gratitude and love. Buddhism not only helps us understand life, but also leads us to peace and serenity. As a Buddhist saying goes, peace of mind is the most precious treasure. When we live with gratitude, without resentment, and appreciate the little things, we will live a truly meaningful and fulfilling life. That is the truth that Buddhist philosophy brings, helping us escape the cycle of desire and find serenity and peace of mind. Buddhism teaches that life is a series of things that come and go. Not everything belongs to us forever. There are things that, no matter how hard we try, we cannot hold on to, and it is acceptance and letting go that will help us free ourselves from suffering and attachment. When we realize that everything in life can change and nothing is forever, we will find peace and serenity. A woman just lost the job she had devoted many years to. At first, she felt lost and sad, but after finding Buddhism, she realized that everything in life has a destiny and a fate. She accepted the change, spent time taking care of herself, and found a new job that was more suitable to her passion. Acceptance helped her move on without feeling burdened by the past. Tolerance and forgiveness in love and family. In life, especially in the family, sometimes we easily hurt each other because of small things. Buddha taught that a wise person is someone who knows how to forgive, because when we forgive, we free ourselves from resentment and at the same time build a more lasting love. Tolerance is not accepting mistakes, but the way we cherish the precious feelings and relationships we have. A couple often argued because of small disagreements in daily life. After attending a meditation course, they understood that love and happiness in the family are much more precious than small arguments. Both decided to change their attitudes, know how to listen and give in to each other, from which their love became stronger and stronger. The meaning of compassion and love for all beings. Buddhism encourages us to practice compassion, not only for humans, but also for all living beings. When we treat everyone kindly, we open our hearts, reduce selfish and jealous thoughts, and leave blessings not only for ourselves, but also for everyone around us. Love is the source of strength that helps us overcome all difficulties in life, and compassion is the path to peace. A farmer decided to change his farming methods to reduce the suffering of animals. He not only helped improve the quality of life of animals, but also felt relieved and happy because he lived according to compassion. His family and friends also learned from him, spreading the spirit of love to all living beings. Patience and calmness in adversity. When faced with difficulties, if we know how to be patient and keep a calm mind, we will find the wisdom to solve the problem. Patience does not mean accepting injustice, but the ability to maintain a firm stance, overcome adversity without letting anger cloud our reason. As the Buddha once said, muddy water never reflects light, just as an angry mind cannot see the truth. A young man was slandered and slandered by his colleagues. Instead of getting angry and reacting immediately, he kept calm and continued to work hard. Gradually, people around him recognized his good qualities, and the slander automatically lost its value. Patience helped him overcome adversity and strengthen his reputation. Meditation is one of the important methods to find inner peace. The Buddha said, "He who knows how to meditate will overcome all suffering." Meditation helps us find inner peace, eliminate negative thoughts, and restore balance to our lives. Calmness gives us the strength to face life calmly and strongly. A busy business leader with a stressful job and often tired. He decided to spend time every day meditating and finding inner peace. As a result, he reduced stress, made better decisions, and his work became more favorable. Meditation helped him have a clear and calm mind amidst the chaos of work. Buddhist philosophy encourages each person to look back and improve themselves instead of trying to change others. Every failure is a lesson, and self-improvement is a never-ending journey. Buddha taught that if you know how to conquer your own soul, that is the greatest achievement that a human can achieve. This journey helps us live meaningfully, overcome our own limits, and create a peaceful life. A young man initially focused on criticizing others for his failures. After being exposed to Buddhism, he realized that he needed to change, improve himself to become a better version. Gradually, he learned to listen, change his thinking, and found life more and more positive. Thanks to that, he found happiness from within and no longer depended on the opinions of others. The philosophies and lessons from Buddhism help us realize that life is a journey, not a destination. Through every difficulty, challenge, and person we meet, we can learn and grow. The most valuable thing is not what we have in our hands, but how we live. Buddhism teaches us to live with gratitude, to forgive, to love, and to be tolerant, to accept what cannot be changed, and to focus on self-improvement. When we understand that happiness is a state of mind and not something external, we will live a meaningful life, not dominated by ambition and jealousy. Only when we know how to live responsibly, know how to love and constantly develop ourselves, can we find true peace and joy. That is the path that Buddhist philosophy brings to each person, helping us overcome the storms of life to find serenity and peace in the midst of the impermanent life.